Let's get started. Today we're going to start standing on the mat. Standing at the front of your mat. And standing in mountain pose. I'll just turn to face you, but you stay at the front of the mat. So the feet are together. The big toes are touching and there's a slight gap between the heels. Taking your awareness down to your feet. Just feeling the feet on the mat. Lifting the toes and spreading them. You can spread your fingers at the same time if it makes it easier to spread the toes. And then bring the toes back down to the mat. Soften the shoulders. And notice if the weight is even under your feet. So working on each foot to start with. Are you leaning more towards the front or the back? See if you can bring it even under the left foot and the right foot. Are you leaning more towards the inside of the feet or the outside edge? And see if you can bring balance to that. Imagining the foot as a rectangle. Are you pushing evenly down into all four corners of that rectangle? So as you're doing this, becoming more aware of the feet on the mat and how the weight is moving under each foot. And then take your awareness to the weight between the two feet. So is it even between the left and the right foot? Is there more weight on one or the other? And see if you can bring balance to that. And again, just check if you're leaning collectively towards the front or the back, not just on each foot. And see if you can come to center. And then when you're ready, closing your eyes. So if you do find it difficult to balance with the eyes closed and the feet together in mountain pose, of course you may part them slightly, or perhaps just be very aware of your balance with the eyes closed. And take your awareness to your breath. Breathing in and out through the nose. Feeling the chest and the tummy expanding on the inhale, sinking back down on the exhale. Noticing that automatic pause at the top and the bottom of the breath. And getting into a flow with the breath. We want to keep that connection with the breath throughout our practice. So maybe we take it quite slow as we move through our poses, and remembering always to go back to the breath or keep with the breath. So taking our arms out wide on the next inhale. Nice long slow inhale as you slowly bring the arms all the way up above the head. Bringing your palms together and exhale to prayer. Taking an inhale here. And exhale, release the hands back down. Inhale, arms wide all the way up. Exhale to prayer. Releasing the arms down. Inhale, arms wide all the way up. Exhale to prayer. This time keeping your hands in prayer, setting an intention for your day or your practice or the rest of the week. Keeping the palms together. Inhale, take the arms up. Palms are still facing as you release the hands and push into both feet, lengthening up through both feet, through both hands. Take hold of the left wrist with the right hand, push into the left foot, reach out through the left arm, exhale, bend to the right. So it's like you're pulling on the left wrist, bending to the right. Inhale, come back up. Releasing the left wrist, reaching out through both hands. Taking hold of the right wrist or just above it with the left hand, pushing into the right foot, reaching out through the right hand. Exhale, bend to the left. And inhale, coming back up, releasing the wrist and reaching out through both arms. And gently bend back on the exhale. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, fold. So take it easy here in your first forward fold. Perhaps softening the knees and holding onto the elbows, letting the head hang. Perhaps keeping the legs straight, holding on behind the legs, pulling the upper body towards the legs, tummy, chest, and forehead. So if you're holding onto the elbows, then just follow the breath. Still taking nice long deep breaths in and out through the nose. If you're holding on to the legs or have your hands on the mat, lengthen the head towards the feet on the inhale. Pull the body towards the legs on the exhale. Thinking tummy, chest, and forehead. Bring your hands to your legs and inhale. You can slide up the legs as you come halfway up. Flat back to half lift. Pull the shoulders away from the ears, belly back into the spine. You're looking straight down at the mat. And exhale, fold. Bring your hands down to the mat, stepping your feet back to plank. Pushing into the hands, creating a good strong foundation, engaging the whole front of the body. Drop your knees to the mat, chin and chest to the mat, keeping the elbows close to the body. Inhale to cobra, the whole body's down on the mat, legs are together, drop the shoulders, look straight ahead. Check what your butt is doing. If you're tensioning the butt, release it. And exhale, release down. Tuck the toes, push back to plank. Engage in the front of the body again, holding a nice straight line. And exhale, pushing back to down dog. Keeping the knees bent initially if you need to. Take your awareness to your hands, pushing into the whole of the thumb and the index finger. Pushing into the knuckles at the base of the fingers and pushing into the tips of the fingers. As you push the hands into the mat, imagine you pushing the mat away from you. Bring the head between the arms. Reach the hips up, legs, straightening the legs as you draw the heels down towards the mat. Pedaling the feet, keep the toes on the mat and Deeply or gently, choose which one suits you this morning as you pedal the feet. Easing into our lovely down dog. Enjoying that feeling of lengthening the spine and the hamstrings. Keeping with the breath, draw both heels down to the mat. And step the feet forward. Coming back to our forward fold, drawing the upper body towards the legs, pushing into the feet and rolling up, keeping the head and arms hanging free. Coming all the way up to standing, taking your weight onto your right foot, bring your left knee up in front of you. So if you feel it's early to do a balance or your balance feels compromised this morning, feel free to rest the left toes or even the big toe on the mat. Otherwise, knee is in front of you, thigh parallel to the mat, taking your right hand to the left knee. Keep the hips level, so push into the right foot, lifting out of it. You don't want to drop the left foot down. Taking the left arm out to the side. And perhaps if your balance feels stable enough, take your gaze out to the left hand, focusing on that point, that unmoving spot, your drishti. Perhaps taking the left arm out behind you. You can keep looking out to the left, or you can turn the head as you follow the gaze, your hand with your gaze. Inhale, come back to the center, keeping the knee up. Next inhale, take your arms up. Exhale, stepping your left leg back, landing down on the toes. Right knee is stacked over the right heel. And exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step your right foot back to the plank, engaging the whole front of the body. Drop your knees to the mat, chin and chest to the mat. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower down, tuck the toes, push to plank. And to down dog, pedal the feet. Keeping with your breath. Draw both heels down towards the mat, reach the hips up, pushing into the hands, the head is between the arms. And take a nice walk with the feet to hands. Pulling the upper body towards the legs. Soften the knees, push into the feet, roll up, and the arms hanging loose. Coming up to standing, we're taking the weight onto the left foot. Bring the right knee up in front of you, or keep the toes down on the mat. Left hand to the right knee, right arm out to the side. Check the hips are level, take your gaze up to the right hand. Perhaps you're taking your right arm out behind you, looking out towards the hand, or keep your gaze up to the side. Inhale, come back to the center. Keep the knee up. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, lunge your right leg back, landing down on your toes. Keep that back leg straight. Left knee is stacked over the heel, not the toes. And exhale, bring your hands down to the mat. This time, we're going to step our right foot forward. Coming to forward fold, bringing the hands to the legs and inhale, half lift, step back. Exhale, fold. Bringing your palms down to the mat and lunge your right leg back, bringing your foot down at an angle. Inhale, take your upper body and arms up for warrior one. Hips, upper body, shoulders are facing the front of the mat. Head is between the arms. You're reaching down through the outside edge of the back leg. Knee, hip, and foot are facing the front of the mat, all in alignment with one another. So check your knees not flopping in and your foot isn't turned. Exhale as you interlace the hands behind the back. Inhale, take the arms away from the back, opening the chest. Exhale, fold forward. Come into your humble warrior. Keep reaching down to the outside edge of the back leg. Taking the arms over the head. Releasing your arms back down onto your back. And releasing your left hand down to the mat. Inhale, take the right arm up. Exhale, release the right hand to the mat, come onto the right toes. Inhale, left arm up. And left hand comes down to the mat. We're going to jump switch the feet, so changing to the other side. Take your left foot down to the mat at an angle. Inhale, warrior one. Checking your alignment again. Seeing what you're doing with that back leg. And exhale, interlace the hands behind the back. Inhale, pull the hands away from you. Opening the chest. Exhale, folding forward, humble warrior. Today maybe feeling the humbleness even a little bit more with Earth Day, as we should really be humble to what we have, what we've been provided for. And dropping the hands back down onto the back. Take the left, right hand to the mat. Inhale, take the left arm up, looking up at your hand. Really reaching into that outside edge of the back leg and the right foot. Lengthening up through the fingers. Bringing your left hand to the mat, come onto the left toes. And inhale, taking your right arm up, looking up at your hand. And taking your right hand down to the mat. Stepping your right foot back to plank. Lowering down on the exhale and inhale, coming to up dog. Just the hands and the tops of the feet on the mat. Exhale, look over the right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, look over the left shoulder. Inhale, center. And exhale, pushing back to down dog. See if you can roll over the toes as you push back. Taking awareness again to your hands. Notice if you're running through the cues and the fingers, the head, the hips, and the heels. And inhale, take your right leg up. Exhale, thread the leg underneath you to the left, taking your left arm up. Left hand to the mat, right leg back to down dog splits. And bringing your foot back down to the mat. Inhale, take the left leg up, down dog splits. Exhale, thread that leg underneath you to the right. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, bring the right hand to the mat. Take the left leg back to down dog splits. And bring your foot back down to the mat. Drawing both heels to the mat. And step your left foot forward. Bringing your right heel down to the mat at an angle. Pull the upper body towards the leg. So you can have both hands on the mat. You can have one hand on the leg, one on the mat, or both on your leg. So we want to keep a slight softness in that front knee because we don't want to lock it. So just a little micro bend in the knee. Drawing the upper body towards the leg and lengthening the head down towards the foot. Remember to reach down through the outside edge of the back leg. Bringing the left hand to the foot, ankle, or leg, or maybe just the fingertips grazing the mat. Inhale, taking your right arm up as we come to triangle, stacking the hips. Imagine turning the upper body to face up to the sky, looking up at your hand. Keep the arms reaching out, and on the next inhale, come all the way up. Take your right hand down the right leg, left arm reaches over the head. Reverse triangle. Inhale, coming up with the upper body, turning side on the mat. Feet are parallel to one another. And bring your hands to your hips. Exhale, fold. You can have the hands down on the mat under the head now, or hold onto the legs, or bring the hands between the legs, walking the hands behind you, palms to the mat, fingers pointing away from you. Remembering your breath in our forward folds, lengthening top of the head to the mat on the inhale, pulling the upper body towards the legs on the exhale. And softening that stretch. Walking your hands across to the left leg, pulling the upper body towards the leg. Breathing in and out through the nose. Walking your hands all the way across to your right foot. Pulling the upper body towards the right leg. We're going to turn our right foot to face the back of the mat. Bringing our right hand, we're going to do our intense side stretch before a triangle. So drawing the upper body towards the leg. Inhale, lengthen the head towards the foot. Exhale, pull in towards the leg. Taking the right hand to the foot, ankle, or leg. Inhale, left arm up as we move into our triangle. Stacking the hips. Feel that stretch in the hips. Lengthen up through the fingers, down through the outside edge of the back leg. Reaching out through the top of the head. Keep the arms reaching out as you inhale, come all the way up. Taking the left hand down the left leg, right arm reaches over the head. Inhale, come back up. Turning side on the mat. Bringing your hands to your hips. Exhale, fold. Drawing the top of the head down towards the mat. Position the hands in any of those three positions under the head, the legs, or walk them through. And soften the stretch. Bring the hands under the head, straighten the arms. Inhale, take the left arm up. Exhale, bring the left hand down to the mat. Inhale, take the right arm up. And bring your right hand down to the mat. Walking your hands across to the left foot, turning the left foot to face the front of the mat. Bringing the hands onto either side of the foot. And step your right foot forward. Bring your hands to the legs and inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Soften the knees, arms wide. Inhale all the way up. Reaching up through both hands. Exhale, gently bend back. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, fold. Hands to the mat, step or jump your feet back to plank. And lower down. Inhaling as you come into up dog. Exhaling into down dog. Hips reach up, heels reach down. Glide the upper body forward to plank. Getting that strong foundation, that strong body, lifting the left foot off the mat. Bring the left foot back down onto the mat. Take the right foot up. And bring your right foot back down to the mat, pushing back to down dog. Inhale, right leg up, down dog splits. Exhale, step your foot through between the hands. Left heel comes to the mat at an angle. Inhale, warrior one. Sinking a little deeper perhaps. Coming onto the left toes, we're going to move to warrior three. So we're going to take the upper body forward, shift the weight onto the right foot. Arms are reaching out in front of you. Bring the left leg up behind you. Trying to keep the hips level. So if we're stacking the hips out to the side, see if you can keep the hips level. You might even bring your hands to the hips just to see if that helps you. Release your hands down to the mat. Coming to half moon pose. We want our right foot to face the front of the mat, right hand on the mat in front of the foot. Start to stack the hips out to the side. Perhaps taking the left hand to the hip. Opening the upper body out to the side, stacking left hip over right hip. Maybe taking your left arm straight up. Perhaps taking your gaze out to the side. Perhaps even lifting the right hand off the mat, bringing it to the heart. Bringing your left hand back down to the mat. Step your left foot next to the right. Draw the upper body towards the legs. Inhale, half lift. Lengthening the upper body. Exhale, fold. Hands to the mat. Step or jump feet back to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg up, down dog split. Glide the upper body forward to plank, keeping the leg up. Pushing back to our down dog splits. Bringing your foot back down to the mat. Inhale, left leg up, down dog split. Keeping that leg up. You glide the upper body forward to plank. Pushing back to down dog splits. And stepping the left foot through between the hands. Right heel comes to the mat at an angle. Inhale, warrior one. Coming on to the right toes, moving to our warrior three, shifting the upper body forward, taking the weight onto the left foot, right leg comes up behind you, arms reaching out in front of you, palms facing each other. Taking your hands down to the mat, left hand in front of the left foot, right leg up behind you, start to stack the hips, take your right hand perhaps to the hip, looking out to the side. Your leg is reaching out behind you, you're lengthening through the top of the head. Take your right arm up. Shoulder pulls away from the ear. Lengthen through the head, through the foot. Hips are stacked. Bring your right hand down to the mat. And lunge your right leg back, landing down on your right toes. Drop your right knee to the mat. Walk your left foot towards the outside edge of the mat. Hands on the inside of the foot. Straighten your right foot out into our dragon pose, or some people call it lizard pose. So you can stay on your hands as we are here. We want to sink down evenly with the hips, putting the left hip forward, the right hip back. If you find the space, you can drop down to the right forearm. Maybe you can come down onto both. Keep pushing the right hip back and pulling the left hip forward. Let your neck be soft and the head hang. And keep your awareness on your breath, breathing in and out through your nose. A nice deep hip opener. Using the breath to get you through it if it is a challenging side. When we have one hip that's always a little more challenging than the other. So just breathe as you work through this. We're going to stay here for a good couple of breaths. Really giving time for our deeper connective tissues to start to, we call it creep. So extend a little bit more, going that little bit further. And each time we go back into one of these poses like dragon or pigeon, it remembers how far it is stretched and it gets back there with a little more ease. So if you were down on the forearms, you can push back up onto your hands. You can take the left hand to the outside of the left foot, walk the left foot a little bit back towards the center, tuck the right toes, lift the knee, rocking a little bit backwards and forwards. Taking your left leg back to down dog, pedal the feet. Nice and slow and deep. Do what feels good here. This isn't so much about the down dog as it is a counter pose. So nice deep pedals with the feet, perhaps really twisting the hips a little bit as you finding a good relief there. And then draw both heels down to the mat. Pushing into the hands, reaching the hips up, heels down. You can take the right leg up into a down dog split just enough to step your right foot between the hands or straight to the outside of your right hand. Dropping the left knee to the mat, straightening out the foot. Your hands are on the inside of the foot. You can choose to stay here on your hands, absolutely fine. Right hip pushes forward, left hip back. Perhaps you have the space to drop down to the outside arm, the left arm, onto the forearm. Maybe you can drop down onto both forearms. So choose the best place for you. Right hip pulls forward, left hip back, soften the neck, drop the head. And breathe, noticing perhaps which side or which hip comes with a little bit more ease in the stretch, or which one's a little more challenging. And breathe. Just checking that your knee is stacked over the heel and not over the toes. We don't want our knee over the toes, that is too much stress on the knee. We're just going to keep the knee a little further back. So if you need to take your right foot forward, do so. And then coming back onto your hands if you were down on the forearms. Taking your right hand to the outside of the right foot, walking the right foot a little bit further into the center of the mat again. Tucking the left toes, lifting the left knee, gently rocking backwards and forwards. Stepping your right foot back to down dog. Slightly release in down dog as you pedal the feet, nice and exaggerated. Drawing both heels down towards the mat. Gliding the upper body forward to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to up dog. Hands and tops of the feet on the mat. Exhale, look over the right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, left shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, down dog. Last down dog of today. So enjoy this down dog. Spreading the fingers wide, pushing into the whole of the thumb and the index finger. Knuckles at the base of the fingers and the tips of the fingers. Push into the mat, reach the hips up, reaching the heels down. Noticing how this down dog feels as opposed to the first one we did. Step or jump the feet forward. Hands to the legs, inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Soften the knees, arms wide, inhale all the way up, gently bending back. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, fold. Stepping your right foot behind you, coming to sitting. We're going to do our arm balance. So today we're going to do 8-angle pose. We're going to open the hip a little, even though we've just done a hip opener. Hold the left foot in the right hand or elbow crease, left knee in the left hand or elbow crease, hugging the leg in towards the body, rocking the belly. Want to get the foot as close to the body and as high up as you can. And when you're ready, we're going to take the leg over the arm. Bring your hand down to the mat in an angle position between the hip and the knee. Bring the other hand down to the mat in the same position on the outside of the right leg. Take the right ankle over the left. So here we differ from our leg over arm balance. We look like we were setting up for leg over arm balance. You're going to rock the weight forward, pushing into the hands, engaging and lifting. Taking your legs out to the left, bringing the upper body forward as you lift the bum. Seeing if you do lift, whether you can slowly, with control, come back to sitting. So sometimes it's easier to actually lift in this pose because you have the one ankle sort of helping the other leg up. But then taking the legs out to the side, you might start to feel that. And then lifting the butt is really what helps you to get the legs out to the side properly. And that's often where the challenge arises, of bringing that balance, shifting that weight between the front and the butt. So playing around a little bit with that pose, quite a fun one to do. And when you are ready, when you're done on that side, we'll do the other side. So feel free to play a little bit longer if you like. And join us on the other side when you're ready. So starting with the right leg, a foot in the hand of the elbow crease, knee in the hand of the elbow crease, opening the hip. So this pose, this rocking the belly pose, doesn't only have to be done before one of these arm balances. It can be done anytime without the arm balance. So I find it's a really nice hip opener. It's kind of a relief after you've been doing the deep hip openers like pigeon pose or dragon. And it really feels good for me. I hope it feels good for you too. When you're ready, taking the leg over the arm, hand down to the mat, bring the other hand in alignment, left ankle over right, to rock the weight forward, pushing into the hands, lifting. Maybe this is where you come and you just start playing with the weight a little bit. Otherwise, take your legs out to the right, lifting the upper body forward. You're bending the elbows as you come forward. And bringing, not as gracefully as that, your legs and bum back to the center. So really a little bit of a challenging one, but one that you can achieve. So playing around with that whenever you like. Good upper body strength. Feel free to keep playing around in that a little bit longer if you like. Then we're going to move into our twist. So you can join us there when you're done. Taking your feet to the left as you're sitting. Left leg is on top. Take your left foot to the outside of the right thigh. Feel free to straighten the right leg if you need to. Readjust so that both sitting bones are attached down to the mat. Hug your knee with your right arm, or perhaps take your elbow to the outside of the knee. But if you have to lift your butt to get your elbow there, then rather keep hugging the knee. Take your left arm out to the side, go all the way behind you, push into the mat, get length through the top of the head. Exhale, twist, tummy, chest, shoulders, as you look out over your shoulder behind you. Keep breathing. Beautiful twist. Inhale, coming back to the center, releasing the hands behind you, changing legs. So taking the right foot to the outside of the left side. Again, positioning yourself so that both sitting bones are down on the mat. Back the knee, we take the left elbow to the outside of the knee. Right arm out to the side and behind you. Push into the mat, get the length through the top of the head. Exhale, twist tummy, chest, and shoulders. Keep your awareness to your breath. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, release your hands behind you. Taking the feet wide, letting the knees flop from side to side. You can stay down, just getting a blanket to sit on. Since I might hijack my blankets. And coming to sit, you don't need a blanket, I just do because I've got a wonky cot six and I can't balance on it. So we come into boat pose. So toes, we have a couple of options here. Toes touching the mat, arms reaching out in front of you. What you really want is to have a good straight spine and engage the abs. So perhaps you bring your hands behind the knees and bring the calves parallel to the mat. You want to keep them like that, not drop them. And reaching the arms out. So calves parallel to the back, in the mat, straight spine. Pulsing a little bit, lowering and lifting. See if you can keep your calves parallel to the mat as you're pulsing. And next one, we're going to go all the way down to the mat. Reach the arms over the head, stretching out the whole body. Full body stretch. Bending your knees. Feet are hip width apart. Arms next to you, push into the hands and the feet, lifting the hips, rock the shoulders a little bit underneath you, lifting up through the chest, through the hips. Perhaps interlacing the hands if you like to interlace the hands. Push the interlaced hands down into the mat. Bridge pose. Keep lifting. We're going to slowly roll back down onto the mat. Bring your palms back down to the mat. And if you like, we'll come into our back bend. Feel free just to stay resting in this pose, or even take your feet wide and drop the knees together in constructive rest if you aren't going to do the back bend. Wheel pose. If you are, then either doing the prep or pushing straight up. Bring your hands next to the head, away from the ears, but in line with them. Fingers pointing down towards your toes. Either pushing into the hands, leaving the back of the head on the mat, pushing into the arms, building strength, or pushing straight up into wheel. Straightening the arms as much as you can, keeping the feet parallel to one another, slowly lowering down, back of the head on the mat, rolling back down, hug the knees into the chest. You can keep the knees hugged in, but just loosen that hug a little bit, cross the ankles, interlace the hands behind the head, and lift the chest and the shoulders off the mat. Keep the elbows wide and lower, and lift, and lower, and lift, and lower, and lift, and lower. Lift, and lower. 3 more. Hug the knees back into the chest, release the arms as you rock gently from side to side. Take the arms out to the side, palms facing down. Drop your knees to the right, turn your head to face the left. Close your eyes as we near Shavasana. Keep breathing in and out through the nose. And inhale, bring your head back to the center. Inhale, bring the knees back up. Exhale, drop the knees to the left. Turn your head to the right. Inhale, head back to the center. Inhale, bring the knees back up. Straightening the legs out in front of you. Heels are touching, arms are next to you. Tuck a little bit of a hand under the butt. Flex the feet so the feet are flexed out to the side. Pushing into the forearms as you lift the chest, take the top of the head to the mat in fish pose. So we're not just resting our weight on the head. You want to push into the hands, the forearms and the elbows, lifting up through the chest. So your chest is carrying the weight of the head. Slowly lower all the way back down, release the hands. Reach the arms over the head, full body stretch, point the toes. Lengthen the whole body. and soften. If you'd like to put something warm back on before Shavasana, feel free to do so. And when you're ready, bringing your arms down next to you, taking your feet up to mat width apart, tucking your chin slightly, softening the shoulders away from the ears. Belly button pulling towards the spine, just ensure that you're not arching the back. You're still noticing your breath, still flowing with the breath. Hopefully by now it's become almost automatic that you just flow in with the breath. Sometimes making an audible breath, a breath that you can start here, really helps to keep you connected with the breath. So we're having a gentler breath now, noticing the rise and the fall of the chest and the tummy as we breathe in and out. Take another deep breath in and out. And now let the breath be soft and almost unnoticeable. And feet flopping to the outside of the legs are feeling heavy. The arms are soft, heavy and light at the same time. The jaw is gently softened. Soften all the muscles in your face. The eyes feel heavy as they're sinking towards the back of the head. And the whole back of the body surrendering, resting heavily down on the mat. Knowing that there's nowhere else to go, nothing else to do. You're in the perfect place right now for you. Acknowledge any thoughts and let them go. Just for now, just for this moment, focus on the part of the body, on the breath, or let your mind float like a cloud across the sky. Feel free to stay in Shavasana for longer, up to 10 minutes. Allowing yourself this time. If you do choose to stay here longer, just ignore my instruction, just listen to the voice as the point of focus. And come out of Shavasana when you are ready. Otherwise, just gently move the fingers and the toes. Inhale, take the arms over the head, stretching out the whole body. Soften the stretch, bend the knees. Bend the arms and roll onto your side, resting your head on your bent arm. Keeping your mind in the moment, keeping your mind on the breath, not letting it start your day yet. Keeping your eyes closed, push yourself up to sitting. Bringing your hands to your knees, palms facing down or palms facing up. We'll take 3 breaths in, exhaling first through the nose, then with a nice sigh, or whatever sound feels good for you this morning. Out through the mouth. And third, a chant of Om if you'd like to join me, or whatever breath you're comfy with. Taking a deep breath in. Bring your palms together into prayer pose. May there be peace in your hearts, peace in your homes, and peace around the world. Namaste.